welcome guitar lovers of the internet. My name is Ollie and I'm here once again to talk about today a particularly interesting guitar from the line of Fender instruments. So you are currently looking at none other than the new for 2020 Fender American Acoustasonic Stratocaster. So introduced in 2019, the Acoustasonic series that is, as the Telecaster version. There was of course quite well-deserved success in that line. So in 2020 Fender have no doubt introduced the Stratocaster, as we can see here. So no, I don't know of any plans to introduce a Jazzmaster or a various other versions, but stranger things have happened. Basically, for those of you who don't know what it is, of course it is shaped like a Stratocaster, but essentially what we have is, well, you've already heard what it sounds like, but an electric looking, playing, feeling guitar that basically has all of these acoustic sounds and even electric sounds built into it. So the video that you're watching today is pretty much my first experience with it. For those of you who don't know, I actually work in a shop here in Perth, Western Australia called Sound Centre. We are lucky enough to be one of carefully selected Acoustasonic dealers. We have sold, you know, of course we stock these, but I haven't actually sat down. I am more of an electric player normally, but I had to demo one the other day and it piqued my interest and I thought this is a really, really cool guitar and it's comfortable to play on as well, which we'll talk about shortly. So yeah, basically I think this bridges the gap between a lot of electric players that might like to play acoustic, but sort of, you know, they're not comfortable on it. Typically typically acoustics are a little bit more difficult to play. There's a bit more attention to the strings. Typically the neck profiles are a little bit bigger. So yeah, it's great in that regard, but it's also very, very good because, you know, if you're a modern gigging musician, especially if you're doing covers, you need something that's going to pull off a lot of sounds. So similar to like the Line 6 Variax instruments, similar to the Godin Multi-Ack instruments, this essentially packs heaps of different acoustic sizes, shapes, and actual timbers as well, and right down to like hardware, which is something I'll go into very, very shortly, into one guitar. So, you know, if you're doing something that requires some finger picking, if you're doing something that requires some big bold strumming, you've got it all built in without needing to, you know, lug 4 or 5 guitars to a gig. So it really is incredible. Before I go on to all the specs, I'm going to demonstrate very, very quickly, go through, of course, you know, throughout the course of the demo you will hear all the different sounds, but I just want to basically just give you, you know, one strum of each voice to show you what it is. So basically there are 5 different positions. Each position has like a different category of instrument, and then, yeah, like I said, you'll go from like, you know, solid spruce with rosewood back and sides to, you know, a different kind of spruce with a different kind of back and timber, like mahogany or a small body or something. So I'll flash that up on the screen as I go, but yeah, let's go. I should also mention we've got what would normally be the tone knob is what's called our Mod A, Mod B knob, which you'll see what that does very, very shortly. So here we go. So going to position 2 now. Position 3. Position... Oh, I've done the backwards, sorry. It was position 5 for 3. So let's do position 3 one more time, why not? Position 2. This is where things start to get interesting, especially on the B position, so let's go. You'll notice that, of course, doesn't really sound like an acoustic guitar, which is where position 1 gets very, very interesting. So that's all of the sounds very, very quickly. Like I said, throughout the course of the video, you will get the chance to hear all of them. But basically, yeah, you've got all those different sounds packed into one guitar. Whatever sound you need, it's basically got it built in. So let's jump into the specs. Starting off with the body. So of course it is a Stratocaster shape, but basically it's what they call a modified Stratocaster shape. So it's basically designed to be very, very ergonomic, to feel great, and also to look great, which there are a lot of people that complain about it, but like, come on man, like it's a great looking guitar. Even if you don't like the look of it, I think the sounds are enough to sell it to anyone. So yeah, it's a modified Stratocaster body. Now the main body is made in a is made of mahogany, which of course it's a lovely satin finish. It feels almost slightly open pore, but not rough like some of like the Ibanez Artwood series acoustic guitars. So yeah, mahogany body, lovely, lovely contours along the body here. Again, satin. And inlaid in the top, we actually have a, it's a solid Sitka spruce top. I think they specify like A grade as well, which means, you know, of course we're getting something very, very nice. But yeah, spruce and mahogany, very, very classic acoustic guitar combination. So it actually is quite, it's quite honky when you just listen to it acoustically, which is cool. So we have a lovely rosette in the sound hole as well, and sort of a very cool curved sound hole here as well, which from what I understand is basically designed to acoustically make it resonate and throw that sound out a little bit, and also it just matches that sort of classy beveled edges along the guitar. So that is the body timbers, so mahogany back and sides with a Sitka spruce top. In terms of the the knobs, they're actually timber as well, which is a very, very nice touch. The bridge itself is made out of ebony. I don't know if the bridge pins are made out of ebony, but they very well may be, but they might be Graphtec or something. So we've got a compensated saddle here as well, which no doubt gives us a very, very nice low action as well as excellent intonation. So the pickup system is probably the most groundbreaking thing here. So this is a combination of 3 different aspects, which are basically drawn into play and brought in depending on what voice you're using. So it was basically a collaboration between Fishman and Fender to spearhead this design. So we've got, like I said, 3 different pickup systems. So we've got a Fishman under saddle pickup with a combination of, it's called a, the acronym is SIRS, something to do with resonant stringed. Basically, you've got a face sensor on the inside of the body that picks up the sort of acoustic resonance because it's an acoustic guitar. It resonates, it vibrates, it moves that top, picks up that, and basically talks to what mode you're in and sort of creates all those different voices. So that's sort of like an analog / digital thing, which, to be honest, I don't know the exact sort of physics or the magic of how they do it. I just love that they have done it because it sounds incredible. So we've got, like I said, under saddle, we've got that top sensor, and we've got a Fender noiseless magnetic pickup there as well, which of course in positions 1 and 2, so voice B or mod B on position 2 and A and B on position 1, that's where we actually hear that noiseless pickup, which gives us the, the classic Fender sound, which is very, very cool. It's, I suppose, similar to the way that Cole Clark do things with their pickup system, that sort of 3-way system. Different things sort of pick up where the others leave off in terms of giving you the ideal range of frequencies and sort of, what each aspect of that pickup system does best. That's what you're getting. So yeah, in different positions you will get, like for example, position 3, that's our percussion and enhanced enhanced harmonics. I need to have another coffee. You actually, so that's mod B, you can hear it. If I go to mod A, not there. So yeah, of course, if you're doing that percussive sort of playing, it works wonders. So yeah, that's basically the pickup system there. So when we get to the neck, this is where things start to get very, very interesting, because it plays just like an electric guitar, which is incredible. So again, similar to the body, we have a satin finished mahogany neck, which looks beautiful. You can really see the pores of that timber coming through. So yeah, this is actually borrowed from the American Professional series. So I believe it's called a deep C neck profile. So like I said, bridges the gap. Electric players that want to get acoustic sounds, but don't want to be put off by, a high action that some acoustics do have, or the actual, basically just having to get used to something different, because the last thing you want to do is have to think about what you're playing. You just want to be able to go between the two and make it work for you. got 22, I believe they are narrow tool frets. Where it is different is that we've got a 12-inch fretboard radius, which is of course a bit more similar to acoustics. I just can't get enough of this thing. Like, honestly, I've had it with me for about 2 days now. And yeah, there's just something, it's got phosphor bronze strings, I should say, but you can just sit down and play it just like you would any old electric. It's great. Yeah, very, very cool. Anyway, so that's a mahogany neck, 22 frets, and an ebony fretboard as well. These guitars are cool because they tend to use more of like the stripy ebony, which makes each guitar very, very unique, gives it its own sort of characteristics. I think it's great. One thing I should mention before we go too close to that side of the neck, we do also have a contoured neck heel as well, which, yeah, like I was just saying, sort of allows us to, of course, you know, most acoustic guitars, unless you have a cutaway, you can only get up to like the 12th or 15th fret, but this allows you to go all the way up there easily, which is something, you know, you can't do on any old acoustic guitar. Going up, so we've got white fretboard inlays and white side dots to help us know where we are, always handy. And we've got a Graphtec Tusk nut. So yeah, that nut cut very, very nicely. Nice, super nice low action actually. Of course, sort of no string slipping or something either. And that takes us to the headstock. So we have sort of, it's not even a decal, it's sort of like the Fender logo is actually engraved into the headstock. Of course, the headstock has that matching the neck, and the actual body itself is that sort of satin mahogany, which I think looks super classy. This guitar is like completely like left to center for me, and probably for a lot of the guitar world, but I just love the way they put it together. So yeah. Great string tree, of course. Keep that angle down. Make sure we don't get any. Sitaring, and yeah, and then we have Fender tuners on the back of the headstock as well. So yeah, it's just, this guitar is something special. A lot of people look at it and they think that's a really weird looking thing, and a lot of people I know on Facebook, I see a lot of people, when Fender posts you, like, oh, I don't like that thing, and people reply to them saying, have you played it? It's like, no, I just don't like it, it looks weird. And it's like, just get over yourself, actually pick it up, and I think it looks great, to be perfectly honest. I think for the price, no, it's not the cheapest guitar in the world. Here in Australia, they retail for $3,999. They street for around sort of that $3,300 price point normally. It's not the cheapest guitar in the world. Yes, it is an investment, but that's exactly what it is. It's an investment. You're not having to cart around, you know, 3 or 4 guitars, acoustics and electrics. And yeah, it saves you from buying, you know, it saves you from buying the Martin and the Taylor and whatever other acoustic brands you might want, because you've got basically everything you need packed into here, super comfortable to play on. And yeah, I honestly don't understand what's not to love. In terms of powering this thing, literally all you need is a micro USB cable that it comes with. Just plug it into literally like a phone, whatever you use to charge your phone. Plug that into the wall, and once it's fully charged, supposedly it can play for up to 20 hours. So that's a lot of sets. That's a lot of gigs, especially if you're a cover musician. The last thing you want is something that's going to die mid-gig. And yeah, the fact that you can charge it on the go like that, very, very, very handy. In terms of other specs, this does also come with a gig bag. It's a nice hard gig bag, excellent if you're just, you know, chucking into the car, going to and from gigs. I personally wouldn't fly with it because you will want something, especially because it's an acoustic guitar, you will want something that's going to protect it a little better. But I imagine lots of the guitarists that buy these are just that, those gigging musicians that, you know, they're just taking it down to the pub or to that cafe or something to do their cover gigs, or even just, yeah, local shows. So yeah, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very cool guitar. It is available in a range of different finishes. From memory, the Stratocaster is available, let's test my memory, in Sunburst, in, I think it's Sonic Blue, Faded Sonic Blue possibly, Dakota Red, very, very classy, Natural and Black, and of course the Telecaster is available in a range of classic finishes as well as some newer ones too. So yeah, that's it. Probably one of the most groundbreaking guitars to come out in recent years. Of course, from one of the world's, you know, greatest, arguably one of history's greatest and most significant guitar companies. Yes, they are honoring all of the classics with the American Original series and all of their custom shop models, but they're also doing new stuff as well, which I think is great. I was actually lucky enough to visit the factory after NAMM in 2019. Obviously, we're quite good friends with Fender. And they actually had one specific room where they were working on the Acoustasonic Telecasters because they were brand new at the time. So I think, yeah, the amount of effort they put into A, designing, and B, building the things really goes to show that this is a serious guitar that will definitely find its place in, you know, no matter what kind of player you are, whether you're a collector, whether you're sitting at home jamming, a studio musician. That's going to be so handy for studio musicians and also giggers as well. So yeah, thanks so much for watching this video today, guys. My name is Ollie, and once again, this has been the Fender American Acoustasonic Stratocaster seen here in 3-color Sunburst. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to give me a thumbs up, even subscribe if you want to catch up on videos coming out every week. Otherwise, thanks again, guys. My name is Ollie. I'll see you next time.